Hello, we'd like to go through the Unit 3 workbook review, okay? And for the fill in the blanks, I'm not going to talk about it so much, but just want to remind you something, okay? And Onshan is the very beginning of the iron and steel plant in China, okay? Liaoning province, and some of you write Shanghai, I don't know why, but anyway, it's definitely not Shanghai. At the very beginning, it should be Ansan, bear in mind. And then why they are having a lot of iron steel industry, because there are lots of coal mine and also limestone core, and then which is quite available for as a raw material for the iron and steel plants. Okay, so accordingly there is a lot of iron and steel plant on that time. Okay, and then during the war time, the concentration of industry along the coast, which was a week of national security. And then some of you just say relocation is not quite good, because relocation haven't mentioned the direction of the iron and steel plant very clearly. Okay, because right now, as you have seen the workbook, the quiz. Okay, let me show you the quiz right here. Yeah, right, this one. Okay, you can see the quiz from 1940 to 1970. What are the difference? More or less they are acting the same in terms of the distribution, which is mostly in the coast, so that if you are just saying a relocation is not quite clear. Okay, accordingly they are moving to the inland area, which is showing a pattern of decentralization. So decentralization is a better wording to show the real direction of the moving of those iron and steel plants. So accordingly, decentralization I think is a better part. Okay, and scrap iron, which means the originally useless iron, and right now, since our technology is higher with electric arc furnace, which is talking about the high temperature boiling machine to the for the steel. So accordingly, the scrap iron can be used right now, okay, in the coastal cities, in order to reduce the raw material demand of the steel plant. Okay, number 4, go west policy. I think okay. Some of you just write go west policy. I think it allows you to get the mark, but better be Western development strategies. Okay, and then for the industrial inertia advantage. Okay, okay. So more or less like this. And then for the true or false, okay. And then Mr. Leung on that time then I misleaded you, because I thought this is true, but actually I missed this. Okay, so my bad. Okay, but anyway, it's not going to affect that much for your mark. Okay, and then be careful for here also. Okay, Baoshan Iron and Steel Complex is in Shanghai instead of Onshan. Okay, be careful for this also. Okay, and then B, which is talking about 1B, multiple choice. One is B, because the dense populated cities is not really that important for iron and steel, because iron and steel is not labor intensive. Okay, if we are talking about those labor intensive industry, it need to have a large population, but not for the iron and steel industry, I think. Okay, and then at the very beginning, at the time with low technology, the iron and steel plant would better stay in here, because it's more adjacent to the coal field and also the iron ore, and then we can obtain this easily. So location A will be better. Okay, number 3 lah. Number 3, which is talking about the foreign the reason of the X is Wuhan. I don't know where is it. Okay, it should be Wuhan. Because sometimes it's quite misleading, because some of the map there is showing another way around. But anyway, if it is talking about somewhere in the middle, it should be Wuhan. Okay, Wuhan. Okay, and then let's see. both all of them are the reason for the development of the iron and steel center, which include flatland, okay, which include cheap hydroelectric power supply and also favorable government policy, okay. In Wuhan there's some flatland also, okay, it's okay. Number 4, China and iron and steel industry are correct. Which of the following? Number 1 is not correct lah. Okay, why? Just right here. Onshan, where's Onshan? Still in the coast, come on. Okay, so this is not right. So accordingly, the structural question and this one, which is talking about there's a map which is like this. Let me find it out. Wait a minute. Google Classroom. Come on, be quick. So slow. Let's see. Which is about a DBQ, which is having a China industry, China map. Okay, like this. Open it in Good Look. Wait a minute. Come on, be quick. And then which we should be remember, which should be page 31. Okay, like this. Okay, and then you can see there are differences between western provinces and the eastern provinces, and showing the lateral reserve of the percentage of the lateral reserve also. And then for the first question, which is about the physical constraint hindering the development of the western provinces. Some of you just write the too few people. I think is not correct because it's physical ma. Okay, so accordingly, extreme climate, drought lah, mountainous area with ruggedness relief lah, remote. Okay, indeed rugged relief. My English really bad. Rugged relief is a bit different with the remote of the and also the poor accessibility, because rugged relief may be just like it's in the Daimosan. The Daimosan is rugged relief, but can you say the accessibility is really bad? Not really, because it's in Hong Kong. And then if you go to Chunwan and you can get a bus easily to almost the peak of the Daimosan. Okay. So accordingly, it's still having high accessibility. So maybe you can say it in 2 different sentences when it comes like this. Okay, rugged relief 1 point, and then poor accessibility another point. Okay, and how about number 2? Number 2, which is talking about describe the factors that favor the industrial development in these provinces, which include the industrial development, and then we are having a lot of local reserve, raw material, mineral reserve, and also power resource. Okay, and then for the western province, we are having cheap labor, extensive land, new market also. Okay, we are not going to capitalize to all the economic factor with the Go West policy. Okay, the problem of the poor accessibility will also be solved. Okay, because the infrastructure will be improved, just like the case about Daimosan. Originally, it's still poor in accessibility, but right now we are trying to enhance the accessibility by the infrastructure, such as building a road and also the railway, so on and so forth. Okay, number C lah. Number C, which is talking about the possible impact of the rapid economic growth on the population structure of these western provinces, which include the a lot of people coming there, influx of immigrants because of the rapid economic growth, and then the young and economic active males will go there, and then it may upset the sex ratio, and then more educated, trained, and skilled labor will be take up the jobs of the secondary and tertiary economic sector in the Western. So and also more Han people, not Horn, more Han people will go west also. Okay, so this is about the change of the economic structure, okay, employment structure or the population structure. What are the problems of the economic growth? First of all, inflation, widening income gap between the poor, as I've said before, ethnic conflicts, okay, leads to more social unrest and crimes, okay, and then strain on local resource, such just like water shortage, those kind of thing, and also the social facilities like the hospital and the schools are also decreasing. Living standard will become poor. And number E, bear in mind, this one we recorded as a wrong thing. This one we recorded as the industrial inertia. Okay, what's industrial inertia? In which is talking about remain in situ. What is remain in situ? There are many things changing. Okay, just like the Onshan to the China iron and steel plant from Onshan at the very beginning to Yinan, and then finally go to not finally, and then in the 80 decades going to Baoshan, Shanghai, and then again going back to Western by means of Go West policy. So accordingly, the location factor is keep changing, but is it going to tell you that Onshan, Shanghai is not having iron and steel plant right now because it's not yet it's already the outdated location for them? No, they are still having iron and steel plant. Why? Because they still love to work in here, because we will call this as the industrial inertia, because they are reluctant to move away, don't want to move away. Although the high rent and wages, and then they are still having a good of skilled labor, bigger market, better infrastructure, cheaper transport. Okay, so although it is having a higher rent and wage, but after this we are still obtaining a lot of economies by staying in situ. So accordingly, we can stay here. Okay, just like nowadays Shanghai and also Onshan, we can still find a lot of iron and steel production nowadays. Okay, number two. Okay, number two, and you can see this is for the DSE question, you will find it's easier, relatively easier. Okay, first of all, you have to point out there's ports. Okay, and then if it's a coastal location, not just about water for transport, it's also easy to import and export. And you can see nowadays the news about China and Australia. Most of the coal that needed for the iron and steel production also imported from the Australia. So accordingly, originally, and we can actually obtain a lot of iron and coal from the Australia to produce the steel. Okay, next one, reclamation. Okay, and then we can obtain the labor market, scrap and nearby. Okay, how about the remote area, lack of raw material, energy shortage, high production cost, okay, and then high land rent. Okay, right here, and then you can see how about the hilly area also, very droughts, lack of large river, inland China quite remote. Okay, hilly relief, low accessibility. And how about the let's see, how about what? I forget what is the question about. Oh, how the fees of this one already done. Why palm wine is still developed right there? because we are having a lot of settlement, and then it can supply of labor. And again, I have just told you what is inertia, right? And then we right there is still having a lot of industrial inertia, and also the coal field iron ore, okay, and then it will available. Okay, for C1 is you may ask that why Mr. Leung, why the just the compare and contrast question we're having 4 mark, because it's first of all it's about different place, and then it's about different time period. Okay, you have to make a very clear comparison between the different time different decades. Okay, first of all at the very beginning there are such a differences, and then afterwards in the 200 the region B increased a lot than the region A. Okay, and then for the 20 to 2010, and then it is increasing more again while compared with region A. So you can see region B is in a very rapid situation, okay, rapidly increasing situation, although the base of the number, okay, is not very high, okay, while compared with just like here, okay, you can see region B is having a large increase. Okay, you have to tell me the growing rate is increasing largely, although both of them are increasing rapidly. But you can see the B is increasing in several times, okay, from the original figures. But for the region A, it's just rising 100% only, a bit more only. Okay, so accordingly, you can make such a comparison. But why? First of all, it's all about government policy to make up the China steel plant. Okay, open door policy lah, and then coastal have been chosen for the development first, and then raw material from the import from the other industry government environmental land zoning policy restrictive development right now. Okay. So although you have to say, there's a lot of government policy favoring the development, but you still have to tell me that there's some situation that's going to restrict the development. How about region B? Region B is about Go West policy or Western development strategies. Okay, that's why I just give you both of them for the mark. Okay, in the fill in the blanks. Okay, bans the regional economic development. Okay, strategic reason in order to avoid being attacked, and also right now, especially in the time of 2000. Okay, as we are having Belt and Road Initiative, 一帶一路 okay, we want to develop the different relationship, the trading relationship with the Silk Road area, also the Silk Road countries such as the Russia, Kazakhstan, I don't know how to Kazakhstan, okay, those kinds of countries. So we may adopt a lot of policy or building some infrastructure to link with those entire countries. So accordingly, region B is also going to be developed. How about the short essay? Short essay, I would like to give you this and what you need to write for the spatial distribution and also for the iron and steel before the 1978. What should you do? Actually, you have to tell me in different kinds of factors. But what are the most important factors? Actually, let's go back to your Unit 1 workbook. Okay, in your Unit 1 workbook, I'm already asking you to do so. Okay, which is you have to tell me different kinds of factors. Okay, just like market, just like capital, just like this one, what you have learned, and you have learned, there's a road, and then also there's a raw materials, so on and so forth. Okay, and moreover, most importantly, the most the most effective factor that's affecting the industrial location of the iron and steel plant is government. So, I think in your essay, what should you have? What are the factors that you have to give me a very good explanation, which is always having government, always having raw material, always having cities as a sources of labor, and also it can also act as a market. What's more? Transport. So if you are go in the essay, if you can just tell me the before 197H, it is just having two places that is having a very important cluster of the iron and steel plant. First of all, which is the Onshan. And then you have to tell me the inland area, for example, Wuhan. And if you can elaborate why Onshan having steel plant by means of government policy, but actually Onshan is not really having a lot of government policy, but Wuhan is really made up by the government policy. And how about the raw material? Both of them having some raw materials. And then the cities, you can say, the cities, you can say both of them are having a lot of labor, and then also the market is large, since it's also a large cities for both Onshan and Wuhan. Okay, how about transport? Both of them are convenient, and then it's starting to be quite easy to undergo the water transport right there. So accordingly, you can refer to the whole sample essay right there, more or less the same as I've told you. Okay, agglomeration, there are something I have missed. You can tell me agglomeration as well. Okay, but raw material energy also about raw material iron and coal, all the way we are talking about skilled labor, which is talking about cities, and then fat land, transport, as Mr. Lan said. Okay, so you can just tell me one by one, and then trying to compare the things like this. Okay, Onshan, how are the government doing? Wuhan, how about the government doing? Raw material, is there any raw material cities which is providing labor? Is there happening in Onshan? Is there happening in Wuhan? Okay, and also the market, and also the transport, so on and so forth. Okay, so that's the end of the workbook. Okay, bye.